What's up guys, if you're new here, my name is Emerson and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing video. We have a camera product here and I'm really excited to open it up. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so let's jump right on into it. We have our package here and as you can see it's got some stuff in it that will be very nice. Very nice. We're just going to pop this sucker open. While trying not to cut myself. Already opened up that side. I'm super excited. Ooh. You can kind of tell right there what it is. So, I'm not sponsored by any means at all. I just think this product is just super cool, so let's just open it up, see what's inside. Let's see if we're and that's why I'm shooting on the M50 right now, because this will be needed for this video. So we're just going to set that to the side really quick. Alright, so we got a cable here, a little box covering, some batteries. You can kind of tell what this already is. And then the main event itself. Oh, that feels nice. A little plasticky, but it'll do compared to the actual whatever this. I mean, it should do just fine. Alright, so what this is a battery grip. So open it up here, you can see we have a slot for 2 batteries instead of just the 1 slot that this one has. And when it's hooked up to the camera, instead of taking portraits, so most of the time you'll be taking portraits like this, where your hands are kind of uncomfortable. Instead of we're taking landscapes, you're right here. And portraits, you're all the way up here. This hooks up to the camera, so you're taking portraits just like you're taking landscape. So my guess is, let's pop out this battery. We're going to take off this battery door here. And then take off this protective cover. My question is, how am I going to put an SD card in here? I think I have to. Do I have? Let's find out. Let's read some instructions, because that might actually be pretty important. Very confused. Oh, okay. So it seems like it wants me to put the battery door in here. Well, that's kind of cool. So now you have a spot to put your battery door. That's interesting. Is there a space to put an SD card in this? I don't think so. So it looks like you do actually have to put the SD card in. I'm confused. Yeah, well I guess that makes sense because it is a battery grip, not an SD card grip, I guess. So I'm just wondering if you have to, yeah, I'm guessing you have to take this off every time you want to put a new SD card in. But I guess that kind of makes sense because you don't really want to really just have one singular SD card, I guess. Alright, so that is now locked in place and this is what the camera now looks like. That is definitely, ooh, okay. So, one of my biggest issues with this camera was that my fingers kind of slipped off the edge of it, and this battery grip completely fixes that. Now, I have big hands, so it does kind of help with this big grip, but if you have small hands, it might not be the best option for you. But it seems to be working decently well. So let's pop in the batteries here. Also, we're gonna plug up our little port here if I can find it. Looks like that's the plug right there. So this cable makes it to where the camera, or to where the camera shutter actually works. Okay. Now let's open this thing up. But I wonder if these batteries are already charged. Probably not, so find out. There's one battery. These are tough batteries. Alright, so that is in. Let's turn it on. Turn the camera on as well. And it is working. It says no card in camera because I did not put the card in, but let's put on a lens real quick. We have our 24-105 over here. And the button works. This is the main shutter button. This is the new shutter button right there. And you can hear it taking photos. So that it works. It works. That's pretty cool actually. The one downside that I do have with this battery grip is that you have to take it off every time you want to add an SD card. Unless there's something that I'm just completely missing, which I don't think I am. So you do have to take that off every single time you want to take out or add an SD card. Yeah, so I can't see any way to put a SD card in otherwise. So that looks like that's the only way to put an SD card. So that is probably my only downside to this, but it does come off pretty easily. I feel like. Yeah, it comes off pretty easily. So my only downside is the SD card part. But other than that, it works really, really well. So let me put an SD card in here real quick. And we will see how it plays out. So SD card goes in. I do like that it has a spot to hold the battery door because that does stay open. So let's put that in, lock it. I guess the fact that it does lock and unlock super fast, and it stays on there really well. I guess that is the upside. So now we have an SD card in here. Let's turn up our ISO real quick. So it seems to be working really well. If I want to take portraits, I just have the shutter button right here and it works the same. It's a little less, I don't really like the click as much as I do the main shutter button, but it seems to work pretty well. And this will also work with my 800 or my 600 on it as well. So it will give that extra stability when I have my 600 on there. So let's put my 600 on real quick. So with the 600, it actually looks more like it belongs on the camera, because without the battery grip, it's just super big. Let me unzoom out of here so you can kind of see better what I'm talking about. It's a big lens, so you kind of need a big camera for it, and the RP isn't really that big. But and that's not even the full size, that's the full size. But with the battery grip, it does make it a bit better to hold, and it also gives you more battery life, which is really what I need. It's kind of like the M50's batteries, where they're just super small. So this is the RP battery. I don't think I have an extra of the M50 battery, but this is LPE 17. And the M50's batteries are LPE 12, so they're similar in size, just a bit, or they're a similar battery, just a bit smaller than this one. And they don't really hold much charge in the first place. Let's clean up this area a bit real quick, so we can demonstrate the camera better. Woo, 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 woo. So this is the battery pack. It does its job well. I like it a lot. Taking off. Let's switch lenses again, so I can actually take a picture with this, because I can't take a picture in the studio with this 600. It's just too big. So let's just switch out the lens real quick, and we'll take a quick picture with this, so we can kind of see what this looks like. So I have this little light ball over the side here. You can kind of see it's giving a little bit of a light on the lens as well, off to the side here. So I'll take a picture of that real quick, and then I'll also throw it up on the screen after I finish with it. Just turn our ISO down, and then we will, and I'm shooting in the vertical position. It is much more comfortable than having to take portraits like this. I can just go to the side, take the photo easily. It really just makes taking portrait photos that much easier. Here, so you can see that I am indeed shooting in portrait. There's my little light ball there on the screen, and you can see that I am indeed shooting in portrait, and I'm taking photos as well. You can see portrait. Oh, that's kind of cool. I got it with it changing the lights. That's actually super cool. So I can see it does make it a lot easier when taking portrait photos than having your hand all the way up here. It just makes it a little bit more comfortable. So that is the newer, I believe that's what it is called. It doesn't have, yes, the newer battery grip. It also does have a tripod mount, so you really don't need to take it off, other than having to use it for, or taking it off for SD cards. That's really all you have to take it off for. That's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna end up taking it off when I'm on shoots, because this is gonna be a video maybe coming up in, I don't know, in the near future, but sometime in the future, I'm going to be making a cinema rig out of this camera. So I'm gonna have to take this off for that, because it is gonna have to require a camera cage. So can't exactly use a camera cage with that. But to demonstrate, we have our quick release plate for the tripod. And you can just put it on there, like so. Preferably straight. You can just put it on there, and that is on the bottom of the battery grip, as you can tell. So I also get more charge out of this now. That made it super unstable, but that's okay. So now I get more charge out of it. I'm able to use it for a longer period of time. And it also does give me 2 extra batteries. It does not give me a charger for them, so I'm just gonna have to use my conventional charger for the regular Canon battery. But it does add a decent bit of weight to it as well. Decent bit of weight and size, as you can tell. That's also another great reason that I have this tripod here, because this tripod is for bigger cameras like the 1DX and cameras like that, so it helps me out a ton. There is the camera, by the way. That is what I'm shooting on at the moment. Let's see if it's going to decide to focus. I'm just going to have to move. ISO on the control ring is amazing. That is the camera I'm using at the moment. So, battery grip, I'd rate about a solid 4, because it does have its discrepancies. We'll have to see if that rating changes. That's just a first impression rating. We'll have to see if that rating changes. I don't think it will. It might, but that is just first impressions. It's only a 5 because or a 4 because it does have some discrepancies, like the SD card having to take it off every time, and the button. I don't really like the. I mean, it's alright. It's an alright button. You can hear it compared to that's the clicky of the regular shutter button, newer shutter button. I don't really like the sound of it. It's it doesn't really appeal to me. Taking portraits with it up to your eye, honestly, that makes it a lot better than having to have your hand all the way up here when you're using the viewfinder. It makes it a lot better. I think honestly, I mean, build quality, it's a little plasticky, because you can't tell it is made out of plastic. It's not the greatest, but it does the job. And I am also going to add another thing to it. It does have a camera strap mount, so I'm going to add one of my little anchors. You can see it does get very front heavy as well, with the lens being off the table. So let's add our anchor here. Alright, now we have our anchor set in place. So if we want to use our little strap here, we're taking, let's say we're first off taking landscape photos. So I have the strap on right now. We'll clip it onto those. So we're taking landscape photos, having fun, yada yada yada. Taking photos, snap, snap, snap. And then we just want to switch to take. So my card decided to fill up at the last second, so I delete stuff, but let's decide that we want to take some portraits. So I've already taken the camera strap off, and so we'll just flip the camera over, put the camera strap on each side, and then now we have our portrait right here, with the camera strap being pretty much the same as taking landscape. And you can still use the viewfinder perfectly fine, even with the camera strap on. And honestly, I feel like it does make portrait, I'll have to field test it a lot, but these are just first impressions. I do feel like it would help out with portrait photography a lot, since it is a lot like the 1DX line and also the new upcoming R3. That's the main thing that I like about each of those cameras, is the fact that the shutter button is also on the side as well. It just makes a photographer's life so much easier when you're, and makes it towards a lot faster as well, because you're not having, sure, you can go from landscape straight to like this, but that also makes it uncomfortable and gives you wrist strain as well. So you can just move from taking landscape to over here, taking landscape, bam, and your hand is still in the same position. You're not as uncomfortable, and it just makes the shooting experience that much better. So, would I recommend? Yes, I would. I will see if I can leave a link down below to this battery grip. If not, I'll just leave what it's called down below and you can buy it yourself if you like. It is specifically made for the RP, if I'm not mistaken. So if you have an RP and you're looking for a battery grip, so far this is a really great one. It's decently cheap. I wouldn't say that much, because let me see what the price was again. Alright, so scratch what I said about decently cheap. It will take a little bit of money. It costs around $55. So if you have that much to spend, it is a lot cheaper than the Canon, just a regular Canon battery grip. Alright, so the Canon battery grip will actually run you for about $250. So I would say that this battery grip is actually decently affordable compared to the on-brand Canon one. Now you will see a little dip in quality compared to what I feel like Canon would have made, but it does feel sturdy, even though it does feel plasticky, whatever you want to call it. It feels sturdy. It feels like it's not gonna fail you. It's not gonna fall apart on you. I feel like this was a good buy, so if you want a battery grip, I might change my mind in the future. We'll just have to find out and see after I field tested a lot. But given first impressions, it actually seems like a really good accessory for you to have. So if you're looking for a really good RP accessory because the batteries kind of suck, battery grip is a great option for you. Now let's move on to the outro.